Go.
Yes.
Nityananda.
Nithyananda.
Cool. This Sri Nithya Paramesthyananda here and Sri Nithya Sukarananda, and behind the camera is Sri Nithya Akshaya Gunananda, and we're here with Swamiji's beautiful Atma Murti.
Yes. Yeah. And today's topic, I want to talk about expansion and what that really means for me. So, before I came to become an Adinavasi and specifically a sannyasi, I was sort of like everyone else, you know, going to school, trying to get good grades in order to get a good job, you know, make my parents happy, and be successful in life. And I was going down that path, and what was my definition of success, you ask? So my goal was to get a job in the hospital because my parents worked at a hospital, because a hospital job was a high-paying job. But I got a job in the hospital as an EKG technician starting off, and I was going to work my way up in order to become a nurse and a nurse anesthetist eventually as I was going through school. But when I got my job in the hospital, I realized I hate being here. This place is full of just negative energy and people who are sick needing to be helped. That part I appreciated, but I didn't appreciate it like the confinement that was associated with that profession. And I knew like I had to get out. Like I wanted to help people, but I didn't want to be dragged down. I wanted to bring people up rather than being pushed and pulled around emotionally, internally, and energetically because of the space. And so that's when I found Swamiji. Swamiji came into my life at the perfect time. I was going through school, I was watching Swamiji's videos, and I was hooked instantly. I knew I had to be a part of the mission. Somehow, some way I had to be here. So at that point I decided to save up money. I got myself to Inner Awakening. I did Inner Awakening, jumped into sannyas, and I was here. Bam, I made it. So now, what you may be asking, so what happened to your vision of success? Becoming a nurse anesthetist, making a whole bunch of money, helping the sick and needy, and those in need. And I'm here to tell you, my definition of success has expanded exponentially. See, my cognitions have changed. I now understand that, yes, I want to help people, but I want to help people before they get into the space of sickness. I want to help people expand their cognitions and their awareness and their consciousness, which will immediately, just as a side effect, keep them away from all sicknesses. Why? Because you're in oneness. And when you're in oneness, you're aware of what's happening inside the body. You're aware of the energies around you. You're aware of how you take care of yourself. All of these things happen with an expanded consciousness, which is what Swamiji is here to deliver to all of us, and which is what me and Sukarananda and Akshaya Guna have been enjoying in the presence of Swamiji. See, over here we eat sattvic food every day. Our bodies are literally in their prime conditions, doing yoga every day, eating the best food on earth, the best food, the most healthiest food, the most balanced food. And we're expanding both physically and in our aspirations. So, Sukarananda, I want to ask you, how have you expanded?
Can we sit down?
Sure.
Panning down. Gotta get Swamiji in there though.
Yes, definitely.
Alright.
He's the main guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was talking about guy? Main being.
Many names, many forms.
Creator, sustainer, operator, and manager of delusion and liberation. We gotta add that. It's God, not God.
Yes, my brother.
Yes.
Yeah. Alright, go.
So, back to what we were talking about, expansion. So, how have you expanded since you've been here? What has your definition of expansion been on the outside, and how does that relate to everyone else?
Okay. I have to say that the expansion is not even the word for what I experience. Like literally, I'm not even that guy, that being who was before. Because what happens here is not change. What happens is transformation. Swamiji literally changed your DNA. See, I don't feel I'm human at all. Especially after Mahasadashivoham, I don't feel I'm a human. Like, I even look at this body, I feel that I am operating this body, but I'm not this body. I am something much bigger and something else. And exist in such a oneness, I can literally even see the air. I can see the consciousness, like from here to Akshaya Guna, from here to that, like everywhere. And like how I recognize expansion. Actually, I want to talk about one other aspect. How did I actually come here? In the sense, like I always knew that I'm here for a reason. I always knew that, but I could not find that reason. But I was super unhappy with the fact the world functions.
Right.
I really did not, like, I could not cognize it. I did not want to be okay with it.
Yeah, and the definition of success and expansion on the outside, it's so like overbearing.
Actually, this thing I realized when I played computer games. I realized when I played GTA and all that, I used to be a guy who put cheats. I like to cheat on these games.
Me too.
Right? I realized one thing, that see, even before cheated, I completed the game, same experiences there, so nobody can say it's because of cheating I had that experience. No. Like, there is nothing materialistic that can ever fulfill you. No matter how much you get, like cars, how much you go into different relationships, how much of a big guy you are, you going into the club, there's a already private table is there for you, going like few chicks are walking to you also. All this, it might be cool and a fantasy level when you watch a movie and you think, oh damn, I really want that, this guy looks really, he knows what he's doing, so you like dress up the same, you had to put the same hairstyle, you call your friends, girls, and you walk into the club like thinking, yeah, I am the ruler of this place, but you're like so cheated. Then you go back home and you feel like you feel really bad, really down, and you like worthless. So going through like, and I realized that basically there's something else that makes you want to live. And what I've experienced, at some point of my life, I stopped living. That's when the party starts, and it is not only for me, for entire universe, for entire this planet. It is like that. People don't want to live.
I got some more depth as you were saying that, because I totally agree with you. All the material things in life, you have the fantasy. Oh wow, in that movie that guy is driving such a nice car. He has such nice jewelry on. She has such nice clothes on. Whatever the case may be. But the truth of the matter is, unless you experience the joy of your consciousness before you attain all these material things, you won't be fully enjoying the things around you. Why? Because you're yearning. You're yearning for the joy of pure consciousness. That's the truth of the matter. Everyone's around here trying to get the next best car, next best thing. But what they really want is the feeling of the oneness experience.
Yes. And we're going to destroy this planet if we continue the way we're going. Because this stupidity of not being aware at all and be driven by fear and greed will destroy the planet, and you don't even know what the hell are you running, where are you running.
You're running because someone else said you should run that way.
Yeah, and then somewhere you got caught and you're running and running and running, getting this and that, trying to get all the money on this planet, even using like all this black magic, whatever you actually even leave that black magic nonsense, even if, like for now. Like,
all the money.
do you understand? Like, when will people realize, especially the guys who are in power and all that, that where they're going, like, it's forever they'll be running, and it's like, you see, it's being blind completely.
Yes.
Complete blind.
And you've been running for so long. You've been running for so long, but have you gotten what you've been seeking? Is your soul contented now that you attained some money, attained some status, attained some recognition?
Sheer
It hasn't. Look in.
sheer arrogance and the fear of dropping. See, at some point, even when you strive for money, you get some great house, right? And you might be happy, but then you understand, okay, this is not it. I have to move further. And conscious people will move, okay, what is it that gives me this fulfillment and joy, and they'll start seeking that direction. The problem is when people realize what they're doing is not right and it's not going to fulfill them, they continue doing. From fear and greed, and then fear of dropping, because all these 10 years, let's say, you've been doing the wrong thing, and you know you've been doing the wrong thing, but you don't want to admit it anymore, and you decide to be driven by fear and greed. But I tell you one thing, this is not the only life you will live, and you lived. The next life, this nonsense will continue. And you will be caught more in this pattern of greed and fear, and will go on and go on and go on until you stop, drop, and rediscover yourself.
I can attest to that because I was just scanning why some patterns are coming up. I looked into a past life and I saw it's directly coming from 3 past lives of like having the same thing over and over again, like living with multiple women. And that's why in this life I was like so yearning for, like, I don't know why, it's like a crazy yearning for like having a harem, having multiple women. And I realized that like I came down with the decision to take sannyas because the depth of my being knew sannyas is what would actually fulfill me, not having like all these like multiple women around me, because I've literally lived that with like 3 different, like being a king, being emperor with all the different women around me, and it still didn't fulfill me.
And to speak on that, when he says to take sannyas will fulfill him, it's not that the lack of women will fulfill him. It's not the lack of feminine energy that will fulfill him. No. What is sannyas? Sannyas is the acknowledgement, okay, I've had all the best things in life, or the so-called best things in life, but now it's time for me to seek something deeper. It's time for me to seek the source of where I'm from, to seek that oneness.
What I also want to share, see, what is actually enlightenment? It is conscious, constant expansion, which is the nature of this cosmos. So you either be constantly forever expanding in materialistic world, and it will never ever end, because it will not give you fulfillment. Because they will die, the things will go. I want to finish this, because actually only when consciously you'll be expanding forever every moment as this cosmos and being in oneness with it, you will feel in power and peace. The peace is one stage, it's only the first stage, then it's powers and this. But even, see, there is 11 dimensions. And unless you're enlightened in every dimension of these 11 dimensions, you will be suffering, because you will feel there's something more I need to get. And something more I need to get. See, that it's very tricky, it cannot be logical. But that more you need, you need to relax into the happening of life. But that can only happen with the master, otherwise you relax into something else.
Yes. Because the feeling is there's something more to life than what I currently have. That's the best way to put it.
Yes.
Because you don't know what exactly it is, but you know that what you have is not it. And that's the guiding force.
Yes.
And now, when you, for example, if you run after money, or if you run after women, or if you run after whatever the material other object is besides consciousness, you recognize that your hunger is never quenched. You keep on getting the same stimulus, and that yearning is never quenched. And at some point, the conscious being, the intelligent human, realizes this is not all of life. At that point, they find Swamiji. Swamiji manifests in their life. Swamiji calls them, come here, experience what it is you're yearning for, and become one. One with Sarashiva, one with me, one with you, one with everyone. And
one thing I want to say, spirituality doesn't mean separate from materialistic. No. Because consciousness is everywhere. Even like in this finger, even like in that bottle, in here, anywhere there is consciousness. In the matter, even in the money that you use to buy anything, there is consciousness inside. So by having consciousness, you have everything. By having money, you have nothing. Not nothing, not actually nothing. I don't want to like upset anyone. But by having money, you will not have what you look for. But by having consciousness, you will have what you look for, and the money, and anything, and everything else.
So one good reference for that is, if you have $10, you have two $5. But if you have $5, you don't have $10. Consciousness is having the whole $10. Having money is having the $5.
Yes.
Literally, it's like getting consciousness makes you get every single thing. Going for the little things that you're seeing, like, oh, but I want that car, I want that, I want those shoes, I want those women, I want whatever, right? You're just getting pieces of the consciousness instead of the whole consciousness by itself.
Yeah, and if you're set on getting those things, that's fine. But first and foremost, come experience consciousness. Experience what it is to have a conscious breakthrough. Expand your awareness. Then go back to your seeking your material pleasures. There's no problem in that. There just needs to be an awareness that there's something more. There's something more to be sought than just that.
And actually just use your consciousness in order to gain those things in the first place. Because with consciousness, you can achieve anything. If you're just trying to do it in the materialistic Maya way, then realistically, most people don't achieve 50% of the things they want. They probably don't even achieve 10% of the things they want. It's because they're not using super consciousness.
They don't even know what they want.
Yeah. If you just use consciousness, you'd pull everything into you so quickly that you're like, okay, I experienced everything, now let's go for more.
Yes.
Alright, so
that has been a very nice conversation about the topic of expansion and what it means to us, and I hope it has some sort of impact on you. Thank you guys for tuning in. I had an awesome time. What about you, Sugita?
Yeah, very, very nice. And one last thing I want to say is when you don't know why you're running or what you're running, will be in chaos and this planet will be destroyed. Only when you gain consciousness, you'll see what not only... See, when you're conscious, you don't know what the you, me, that doesn't exist. You know that you live in, I live in him, in this, more than I live in this body. So your main focus and cognition is what can I do for others? So there's no selfishness. There's only what can I contribute and what can I do for others. And that way you will give attention to things which need it and really see what is going on in this universe and how we can align it so we can all coexist and beyond. So we can all really be fulfilled here. So that's what I want to do.
Yeah. And with that being said, Nithyanandam, guys.
and then be blessed, everybody.